Good on Riverside now. Go live on Facebook. Open up one more tab. Are we live? 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 Are we live?
We got to figure out a better way to test
it. We did it. We're live, baby. If you're live, give me a hashtag live. What's happening, people? Oh, baby. We're back with another workshop Wednesday. Dave, what's good, my man?
Everything in the world is good, man. Nah, I'm stoked to be here. This is going to be a go one. This is for those of you who have no clue who the hell we are. I'm Dave. That's Ceebz. We run this group here, the Content Savage Squad. Depending on where you're watching this, we run these weekly workshops. We're running these weekly workshops with the whole goal of giving you, a videographer, video strategist, video business owner, the most useful information that you could possibly have to just grow your business and become an absolute savage. So, Ceebz, I'm going to throw it back to you, man. What's up?
Absolutely. And just also want to say, like, if you're a photographer, if you're a corporate employee right now, and you're looking to do something in this realm with content creation, working with clients, getting paid to do it, you're in the right spot. So just wanted to also throw that out there. If you guys are catching this anywhere other than our free group, check the link below because there will be a link for our free group that you can join and show up, ask us questions, and get shit popping because that's what we do. Can we say shit on live streams?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Okay, we'll do it live. All right. So, Dave, dude, any announcements?
Yeah, I think we might have one. So, real quick, for those of you who have been here for a minute, if you're already in the Facebook group, if you're participating right now in the Facebook group, you know that we have this awesome community where you can post up questions, get things answered, get input from other people. That's something we really pride ourselves in. And I want to say that there's gonna be a little bit of a switch up here. We're gonna be actually, I'll give you the shock factor first. We're gonna be kind of closing down and archiving the Facebook community.
It's over. It's all dead.
Oh my god!
Good run, y'all. I had fun.
I think we had a good time, right? Might sound a little bit scary there because we've got such a good thing going there, right? However, we are breathing life into something better. We have been running a very close-knit, small, school. We got some posts here. We got a school community that we're going to be switching to and transitioning to, really because it allows us and the community to just give the best possible stuff, really. Like, we've got a lot of plans, and Ceebz and I have been talking about a lot of the plans we have for workshops, programs, different resources. And just quite frank, like, we've both been helping running Facebook communities and groups for years now. School gives us a lot more options on how to give that stuff to you guys. So that's kind of going to be on the horizon, and it's going to be happening a little bit faster than some of you might expect. So, Ceebz, you want to kind of talk about the time frame of that a little bit?
So if you guys are new to the group, one thing I always preach is imperfect action is better than inaction. So a lot of the times I joke around saying I have no idea what I'm doing, meaning like we jump into things before every little detail is figured out. And part of the process and part of this community, even over the last 3 months, it's evolved because of your guys' help. So school is a much, much better platform versus Facebook as far as being our one-stop shop for everything related to what we're doing here. So we have our same Q&A board. You can post your questions, but now we can categorize it into just different sections. So if you're not focused on content and you're only focused on sales, jump into the sales channel. If you want video reviews, drop it in the video review channel. Our calendars will be linked in there where you'll have access to the calendar links and you can just easily add them to your own. We can upload past workshops or trainings, programs, other materials, and just long-term really focus on building that out because, like, at the end of the day, Facebook kind of owns our ass. And I've seen it in the past where you put all this energy into building this large mastermind and database of knowledge that people can go through. And then Facebook's like, nope, see ya. And then it's like, well, let's do it all over again, which is kind of what we're doing. but we're doing it smart this way.
Yeah, Facebook, it's got a lot of great things. For me, it's always just been that's where I kind of hang out. So Facebook groups are convenient, but there's so many changes, so many things that switch around. And like Steve said, Facebook kind of owns your ass. So school's going to allow us to really tailor fit everything to you guys. And it's going to give us direct kind of input feedback so that we can structure it in a way that's going to be as useful as possible for you guys. And I've been playing around. Now Sam Ovens will own your ass. Hey, I guess it's wherever you can best align with what you're trying to do is going to be a better case scenario. So yeah, we even just the calendar feature there. I mean, you guys know, like I made an event for this. You can look at events in the group, but like there you get a whole look of like what exactly is going to be going on, plan it better. I think the quality of life is just super great there. But we just kind of wanted to give you a heads up on that. There will be more details, more information, but that's going to be where we're kind of building things up and giving everybody the kick-ass content savagery that we really want to build up here. So I just want to hit a couple comments that we got real quick. Peter says, I remember the previous group moved to school, lost momentum. That was probably because Ceebz was gone. Yeah, well.
Yeah, that wasn't my group.
Yeah.
What group are you talking about, homie? It's because 6 months ago, I was like, dude, school sucks. Everyone bail. Then I saw Hermosi jump in. Then I kind of saw the new features that they're rolling out and they're incorporating, which 6 months ago they didn't have. So as we're looking at rebuilding from scratch, it's just like, let's just do it. So right now, I'm going to invite all you guys, everyone who's purchased the starter kit, you're going to get early access. The goal is you guys have full access to everything that's happening there, including mastermind Q&A calls I've opened up for you guys. So you can jump on any of these calls over the next couple weeks, right? 3 weeks for the rest of the month. My goal and why I'm doing this is I just need to build the database that we've spent 6 months building here so that as I do open it to more public people, that sounded weird. Seems what he's doing. As we do open it up to other savages that are looking to join the School of Savages, we're just going to have a lot more knowledge in there that they can search. The more community, the better, because the more involvement, it's like the more brains you have. It's the whole idea of the mastermind, of being part of a focused group of creative entrepreneurs. And might I say, Dave, the most legendary.
I think it's normally a bold claim to say that, but it's really not. It's really not here, because I think you're exactly right. But in all seriousness, guys, I'm, again, like a lot of you who know me and have gotten to know me over the years probably know me because of Facebook and Facebook groups that I've been part of. I'm stoked. I'm stoked for this. I think it's going to be the next kind of step up here. So yeah, hell yeah, guys. If you're stoked about all this, awesome. Let us know if there's any questions that you have too. Leave us a comment so we can kind of get a sense of where everybody's at. We also got a question from Michael about the workshop for today, which we will move into very shortly, asking if we're going to be going over the GHL funnel, because he has it up to follow along. So Ceebz, you kind of want to give everybody just a quick overview of kind of what we're going to be broad brushstroke touching on today?
Yes, sir. So today we're more so talking about funnels as like a high level. There's consistently a question of, I'm going to meet with X prospect. What do I do in the sales meeting? And the reality is it's the same kind of framework and process to follow every time. So we're going to be touching base on that a bit. We'll actually have someone kind of throw out a random avatar and we'll walk through and look for someone online and kind of just show you what we're seeing, different tools that I use as a content savage that kind of help me know more than the average person going into a sales meeting. So for instance, like knowing if they have a Facebook pixel already set up or if they're currently running ads or not. There's all these little things. So overall, we're going to break down funnels. We're going to break down kind of like how it works, how you guys who are looking to work with clients and help them with content strategy, full paid funnel builds, how it applies. Because even if you're just doing videos, you guys need to understand how a marketing funnel works. And the more you can walk a client through and do exactly what me and Dave are going to do here, the easier I promise it's going to be to close deals, because they're just going to understand it that much better. Remember, one of the reasons someone says no in a sales conversation is they just don't understand what they're getting, right? And that's where the question always gets like I need to see results. It's just because they don't understand how it works or how it will apply to their business.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the key thing here, guys, is like we can go through, we could handhold and walk through like the GHL funnels and all that type of stuff. The bigger picture here is like, this is a skill set that really, if you can bolt it on to the video skills and understand it, it's a massive upgrade, a massive value add to clients. And it's something we see pop up here a lot, questions. So today's goal is like, look, let's get you guys to understand how this works, how to talk about it to clients, how to pitch it to clients, and make them understand. Because if you just look at like the micro level of it and like, okay, I know now how to like click these buttons and set this up on the back end, that's still, you're not able to translate that to a client. So we're going to be, like Ceebz said, diving into some different examples here. And I think it's gonna be really great to kind of give you different context. So if you guys in the chat here have thoughts, questions, or ideas on this type of stuff as we're going through, please let us know, because that's our whole goal is make this make sense to you guys so that you can make it make sense to others. So Ceebz, would you want to kind of dive in here?
I left it relatively simple and high level because I want questions to come up. I want you guys to be thinking about specific scenarios maybe that you've encountered. And like at the end of the day, there's general guidelines for this stuff, but there's no like hard written rules that like you 100% need to follow. That's why I focus a lot on the framework and teaching you guys the actual like skill sets so that you can add it to your business arsenal, you know, and at the end of the day, whether you continue building your content business or you decide to go sell high-end real estate, or you decide to, Dave, you recently started your OnlyFans, or that's been going for a while?
Hey man, I'm not ready to launch that yet, but
it's soft launch. There's only a soft launch.
Strictly forearm shots, just so you can see just that.
Awesome. That brings up, if you guys do want to join our OnlyFans, we do have the mastermind rocking and rolling. You get to work with us one-on-one. Basically, we give you our plug-and-play systems. Everything that you're not seeing that we're giving away for free, everything that we're using to run our agencies that are doing $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a month, let me know. Set up a call. We'll see if it makes sense. Because we're only really looking for people that we can make our next case studies and can handle like 3 to 5 new clients. So that being said, Dave, should we jump into it?
I think we should. I think we absolutely should. Let's give the people what they came here for.
Let's do it. All right, we're going to jump into screen share. I'm going to get trippy for a second. Wow.
Whoa.
All right. Are we on? What is the funnel? Have we officially made the switch?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're there.
All right, sweet, guys. So if you guys were here 2 weeks ago, I think it was, when we started talking about funnels, and then Dave got me distracted with beer bong funnels and then online funnels and all this stuff. This is what we're talking about. Online, you have a funnel where you have a couple different markets within that. A business, yourself, your personal brand. Like, why do people post on Instagram, right? They want other people to see how sweet their shit is, to generate some kind of an interest, to probably desire the life they want. And I don't know what the action would be, but you get the idea. So within a business, it's the same thing. They're pumping out content. They're running paid ads to generate awareness around their product or service, to ultimately find people that have some kind of interest. The goal with marketing is to create that desire for them to want to work with you, and then ultimately take action and become a paying customer. Okay. So within that, like I said, there's 3 different markets: hot, warm, and cold. Your hot market, just think of it, these are people that are just most likely to take action. Dave, take over for a second.
I was going to say something just fired off wrong there. So we got these three parts here. When you think about it this way, the classic funnel, right? You've got a hot market. These are people, we talk about this. It's the low hanging fruit. It went all haywire here, but this is the low hanging fruit where it's like, okay, I need something to happen right now. Go talk to the people you've already worked with. Go talk to the network that you already have, because these are people that know you, they like you, they trust you already. You've got warm. This is kind of that next step out, the second degree, where it's like, okay, these people maybe know someone that you worked with. They kind of are an acquaintance, someone who kind of knows of you, but maybe still needs that next little step of that clarity, the convincing of what you actually do to kind of want to go with you. And then you got the cold market, which people that have no idea that you even exist. Maybe they're not even necessarily looking for you. So that's kind of, again, that hardest person to pull into your world. So let's kind of look at how we kind of look at these different segments of traffic that you can then bring into your world.
Yes, sir. So once again, within that funnel, you guys can kind of see this is your cold market. So for this, it would be like social media content. It could be paid ads to people that don't know who you are or that you exist. It could be, what else do people do that's not online? People will do trade shows, right? People put flyers on cars. Like that's them trying to tap into their cold market. Am I still alive?
You're still alive.
Okay, cool. All right. So then we have our warm market. So these are people that already know you exist. Maybe they're kind of familiar with what you do, but they haven't decided to ultimately take action yet. So for me, this would be like people on Instagram that know I do something with video and business, but like, that's it, right? They're going to be way more likely to hire me versus some random stranger that they don't know. So that's why I always stress when we focus on who to contact when you're first getting going, it's your hot and warm market. Past clients, friends, family. Ask them who they know that you can talk to, because a referral is 7 times easier to close than cold traffic. Okay. So let's keep moving. So within these now, and then your hot market, this would be things like, okay, I know this is the right product or service. Let me just really make sure. Testimonial videos, FAQs, process videos. Those are all case studies. Those are all great for the hot market. So when we sell our core content packages, this is what we're doing, guys. We're focusing on assets for each realm of a business's funnel online. Okay? Is everyone with me? If you're with me, nod your heads. Love it. Great interaction, everyone at home. Keep it up, whatever you're doing out there.
Really hope we got a bunch of people just nodding their heads at home watching this right now.
So next, we're jumping into organic. Hold on. One question came up. Adam just asked. I got cameras everywhere. All right. When you get on a sales call, oh, it disappeared.
I'll read it to you real quick. We said, when you get on a sales call, are you explaining any of this to the prospect or only just like asking questions? Basically, are we talking about all this? Or are we just uncovering things from them?
So overall, I'm walking through this in question form to kind of see what's in place and what they already understand. My first meeting, I'm just showing up being like, cool. So what are you doing on social? Is that going well? Awesome. Great. What's happening online? Is the website good? You're trying to do this? I'm gathering general information, because what used to happen was I would spend 3 hours mapping out a full plan to go into that sales meeting, only to get there and the client tell me, hey, I have this entire other thing in mind. So I'm like, dude, I'm not going to waste the energy up front to map out a strategy for a client where I don't even know what they're looking for or need help with or anything like that. So when I go into a sales meeting, I'm trying to understand that. But then, yes, there's a lot of education that goes into all of these slides. Were built for me to educate clients and walk them through kind of like why this matters, what their funnel looks like, etc. So this is exactly what I'm walking through right now, Adam. Organic versus paid. Like, you got 2 forms of traffic. Both, though, are systems, right? So like a lot of times people are either crushing it organic or they're crushing it with paid. to have both pumping at the same time, a lot of businesses don't realize like what really goes into that. So let's look at it though within like an online funnel. So people have their Facebook, their Instagram, their YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, whatever it is. Typically it's funneling to some form of a website. It could just be their Instagram bio, you know, and then they're DMing them. But let's just say for simplicity, it's going to a website here. They submit a lead, they call in, sales process happens, they become a happy client. It's the same thing with paid ads, right? So you're pumping ads to a website to try to get a call form submission, and then ultimately a happy client. We're creating, so this is a funnel because you're taking a lot of traffic and you're funneling it into the people that are most likely to want to work with you, okay? Then there is, like, as you get more advanced into the funnels, like when we run paid ads for clients, one thing we're always trying to do is get some form of an email address up front so that we don't have to pay as much to continue to deliver emails to them and stay top of mind to that client. Maybe we're sending them to some type of training page or a sales video before they get to the long format, you know, overall sales page. Maybe we're helping them build dedicated sales pages for different offers with different videos for those dedicated services. But as it gets even further, this is how like things really get built out. Okay, so this is like a company doing 7 figures a year, right? They have both systems kind of pumping. And within it, they're probably really crushing it on only one of these channels, but they also have some trickle effects from the other. So within your organic system and your paid system, once again, you have a platform. That's another system. Focus on one, get it crushing, then continue to scale out, okay? So this is really advanced. This is what every client's gonna want. Oh yeah, this is amazing. How do we do all this? Right? Well, what they don't realize is this takes 12 months for a team to really build out, you know, for them, depending on the size of the business. Like, you know, smaller companies, you can do it a lot quicker. But sometimes with like web redesign and builds with big companies, like that alone can take months. Okay. So why does all of this matter? Why am I showing you all this stuff with arrows and graphs and whatever? Your job as a content strategist is to go in and help a client start to understand what's happening within their own funnel. If you can come in and start to see, oh, okay, you are getting traffic from your paid ads. Great, that's working. Okay, the leads are coming in. You know, you're getting a 2% lead submission. Oh, but your sales conversion rate's only 5%. Like, why are you only closing 5 out of 100 sales conversations? What is it with your offer that sucks? Is it not clear? What if we created a sales video that really mapped out crystal clear, just like what your service is, how it works, included testimonials, etc. Now they're going to be 10 times more likely to say yes to whatever package or number you throw out because they understand, hey, what if we got that up? Let's say we got that up 20%. Let's say we got that for 5 to 25%. So you said you were already talking to 100 people every month, but only closed 5 of those deals. What if you still talk to 100 people and you close 25 of those deals? Would that make sense to do and invest in getting that system kind of going? Yeah, dude. I think to make this to kind of make this grounded for people here, I want you to just think about like your own business, because this kind of doubles down for like your business, but also for clients. And some of you might be looking through it through the lens of how will this work for me, or how could this work for me? Some may be looking through the lens of how could this work for somebody that I'm working with right now. Just to make it real, think about it in your own business and how many over the past couple of months, how many sales conversations you had, or how many lead forms you had, how many people you reached out to. Think about in any of those steps along the way, if you just had, say you had, I don't know, like 10 sales meetings or something like that. If just 1 or 2 more of those closed and nothing else changed, how much better would everything be for you? So it's not about these, it's about the incremental changes along the way, about those conversion steps, and just making sure that the process is smooth all the way through. So it's really just saying, okay,
maybe we got, think about like you made an Instagram post or something, right? It's like, oh, I got, I've reached 1,000 people. It's like, cool. Of those 1,000 people, maybe 1% of them will like engage. And then if you could bump that from 1 to 3%, that trickle down all the way through, like what is the outcome of that? And that's kind of the goal here, is be able to measure those things. So when we talk about like KPIs and metrics and stuff like that, there's a very real side to it. It's not this like big woo woo, like, what are we tracking? It's like, how can we just make shit happen more?
What does that mean? Like 1,000 views. What does that mean? I don't think our sales went up. Well, let's like walk through the numbers. 1,000 views, let's say 1% of those people click through to your site. So now you have what? 10 people? No, 100 would be 10%. So 10 people click through to your site from 1,000. Now from your site, let's say 1% click through.
How many do you need to like get that up to?
Clients from 1,000 reels. So you need 10,000 views to get a client. What if we did 10 reels a month at $3,000? You already told me one client is worth 5,000 a month to you. This is why walking through and understanding your client's business and really making them map all this stuff out is so important. Dave, you had a really important point. Why don't you go ahead and tell us?
Yeah, I wanted to kind of address a couple questions we got here, because Joe asked about cold call strategies. Peter was kind of talking about some of that outreach. Just for the sake of tying it into the funnel aspect here, like if you're looking at your own business, right, through the lens of how do I bring people into the top of my own funnel, I would, again, like, so many people jump to the cold call because it just is something, there's so many more people you can reach out there. Joe, before even, I'm going to redirect your question. Have you exhausted all of the hot and warm like people that you can reach out to? Because a lot of people kind of forget, oh crap, maybe I haven't reached out to that like person that was interested in my services last year that said now's not the right time. And then Peter, I know you mentioned like people don't even want to respond to my messages. To kind of keep it a broad statement here, like I would really take a look at how are you actually reaching out to these people? Like what's the context of the relationship there? How can you get out to them? Because it's so easy when we're looking at it to think about that end goal of like, I want to get people into a conversation. And even the subtle things of like how you reach out to someone might come across as just genuine, but people might not have like that reason to think or care. So it's like, look at the absolute easiest ways that you can spark conversations with people. And sometimes it's content, sometimes it's paid ads, sometimes it's just going to networking events or a coffee shop and talking, like asking somebody to just have a conversation and just meet up or catch up and being willing to meet them where they're at. And that sometimes is just bringing someone into your funnel. So it's like, if you are at very like ground zero here, don't like we looked at the very advanced funnel setup there, strip it all the way back to the simple setup, but also understand that it's not just like running paid ads or posting a shit ton of content. Sometimes it's literally just having that very base level interaction with somebody. And I'll be pretty honest, like sometimes it's kind of hard to say to every single person here, just go do this, because everybody's got different relationships, context, things going on in their lives. So it's a little bit ball in your court to kind of know, like, how do I just be approachable, or how can I make myself approachable?
Dude, at the end of the day, like I just posted, precursor, Impulse bought a lot of Pop-Tarts on Amazon. So just filled the cabinet, posted it, and Pop-Tart reposted it, and they like made fun of me for like being soft for only buying like 10 boxes of Pop-Tarts. So next thing you know, we're just talking though, and we're having banter, creating conversation. Like my goal is to get someone to respond initially, not to try to sell them. Like when you're creating a DM, like there's two approaches in my mind. One is just go for it. Hey, if you need help with video, I'd love to talk more. Check me out and let me know, then have your Instagram bio looking good, all that stuff set up. Second approach is building relationships, just like you would do at a networking event, at the Chamber of Commerce, online. Believe it or not, guys, it's the same thing. It's not just this like everyone thinks it's just like numbers and view numbers and all this other stuff. But these are people on the other end of a computer.
Yep.
So respond to your comments. Comment on other people's things. Oh my God. You don't get comments, but you don't comment on anyone's set. What do you think is gonna happen?
I mentioned something about like warming people up, and it's really like if you just, even if it's just a what's up message to somebody you haven't talked to in a while, like think about the reason for somebody to respond. Like they might get a ton of messages in a day. They might not be checking that stuff that often. And if they just see like a, hey, what's up? How you been? Like if I see something like that for somebody I haven't talked to in a while, I'm like, oh, I'll get to that eventually. Maybe I never will. But if it's somebody who's been interacting with my stuff, if I make a post and they comment and then they hit me up with like a, hey, dude, I've been loving your stuff. Really like that one about this or XYZ. I'm way more likely to respond. So you got to think about the other person's shoes. They owe you nothing. They owe you absolutely nothing, none of their time or attention. You need to really, even before you try and get a sale or get a meeting, earn their attention. That's step one. Even if it's someone who you think is like a warm lead or a hot lead, just like, again, be approachable, be easy to respond to. But I think this would be a good spot to kind of pivot into looking at, like you said, Ceebz, kind of like a, hey, let's pick a business or an industry or something like that.
Yeah, who's got some industries?
Yeah,
throw some industries out there.
If you're in the chat, leave some industries, leave some something that we could dive into here, because again,
or who has a client or someone that they're talking to right now that needs help figuring out that strategy.
Joe said dental. Legal, we got pizza. Pizza. I love it. Dental, legal, pizza. I feel like Ben's got something. I feel like Ben always pops in with like a absolute banger of a comment. Beauty. Ryan said beauty because Ryan's been targeting beauty clients because he's in that industry. We also got pizza takeout / female coaches, getting very niche with it. Medical, IT, trucking. You know trucking very well.
All right, let's do dental. Dental's like the same as med spas, the same as like services and whatever.
There we go. All right, we'll dive it. And if you left a comment and we didn't touch on it yet,
yeah, Ben, I like one of our clients does semi trucks. We've been working with them for like 6 years. LRM leasing on YouTube. Go check them out. They got a ton of great videos. And if your semi ever breaks down on the side of the road, LRM's got you covered. All right. So, so roofing company is pretty similar. So let's look at dental. Give me 2 seconds to pull up a really good tool that I use called Google. Anyone else get that, like, I'm not a robot thing all the time, and the puzzles keep getting harder and harder, and then even when you answer it perfect, they're like, not today, sir. Here's 82 more puzzles to go figure out.
You have to slide the puzzle piece perfectly into the other one, and if you're like a micron off, it doesn't do it.
It's so frustrating some days.
Are we the AI?
What am I actually doing here is...
By the way, while we wait for Ceebz to get this situated, if you're watching this, leave a comment letting us know what like sparked you to pop on. Because if you're watching this right now, there's something you're hoping to get out of this. Maybe you just expected something good and you don't really know. But if there's something specific that you want to see or see us dive into, let us know. The way this works is the more you let us know, the more we can tailor it to you and the more useful it can be for everybody.
Definitely. And today's been very catered on like a funnel strategy and walking through this stuff. But I always get like DMs for stuff about time management, how I structure my day. Like, how do I have the time to take off 5 days and turn my phone off or be on airplane mode, yet the business is still running? Like, whatever it is, guys, you got to be dropping it, because me and Dave are basing this all around you guys, and whoever is participating the most is going to get the most value and the most other sweet stuff as a result. So I can't tell you what it is.
Chris said mindset. Hell yeah. Chris, got any other like further elaborations on that? Like mindset around funnels, like mentality with it, mindset of like how to approach people about this? Give me the deets, man. Give me the deets.
Life systems. I got some good life systems going right now.
something else that I want to kind of just real quick state to you guys watching this is like a funnel is not just like setting up this specific technical system for somebody. It's also kind of a sales model or like a mental model on how to pitch things to people. Because if you can understand, even if you don't pitch a funnel to somebody, if you can understand how their funnel works, how their sales process and marketing works in that same way that Ceebz just broke down, then you can prescribe something for specific parts. So maybe you're not going to hands-on be running all this for them, but if you can understand where that kind of fall off point or where that optimal conversion point is for people, yeah, we're not getting people showing up to our meetings after they book. If you can identify that, like, okay, that's a conversion problem right there at that step, maybe we have a video that explains the next steps that appears right after they book their thing, and then reminders go out. It's just kind of filling the gaps of like, okay, I understand that this is a part of their system that needs something. Let's pitch it to them.
Dude, this exact breakdown, doing what I did, let me show you really quick, landed me the first 25K deal I did. And then I started freaking out, being like, they said yes way too easy. Like, I way undersold this because here's what happened. They were spending over $1 million a year on marketing, 1.2 million a year. So 100,000 every single month. They told me they wanted to hire me for social media content, and they had 60 different independent locations that they were trying to figure out how to build out like Instagram pages for each of them. I went in being like, that's insane. They're in 7 different states, 60 accounts to build. What are you like? Where's your brain at with this budget wise? And they're like, it was a joke. So I just said, hey, what else is going on? What are you doing? He said, look, we don't need help with ads or anything like that. Like, we're covered on that front. I said, look, let me just see the data and we'll look at it and see if I see something different. So when he got me the data, the actual link click-through rate was good. It was like a 1 or 2%. Like, let's say it was a 1.5. So I looked at that, said, hey, the ads are actually working and they're driving a ton of people to your website. Then I asked him what the sales conversion rate was. Like, let's say a lead comes in, what would this conversion rate be? And he told me they close like 60 to 70%. If someone came into one of their locations, 60 or 70%, let's just say it's 70%. 70% here. This was like 1.5. Come on, 1.5er. And then I said, so what's happening on the website? And he's like, dude, our website's good. We don't need it. Whatever. I said, look, let's just look at it. When we actually looked at the data, this was, if you don't remember what it was before, it was a 1 to 5%. So this was 0.5%. And I said, dude, that's where the issue is. Let's look at your site and see what we see. And then when we really started diving through the website, the photos, these were like element or childcare locations. The photos were like 2 kilobytes taken on like a Nokia old brick phone. There was the video, the one video on the homepage was from like the 90s. I always say it looked like an episode of Touched by the Angel. It had this like weird lighting. And I'm like, dude, you're asking parents to send their kids to your school. Like, I would not send my kid there. This looks like a freaking scam. You got stock photos, these weird videos, and zero other content of the locations, the teachers, what it looks like, any of that. So we 10 videos for the 25K. We filmed them over 2.5 days. Once they implemented those videos, within 30 days, they saved 30% of their marketing costs. So where they were spending 100 grand before, they only needed to spend 70,000 to execute the same level of business.
Now, Ceebz, question for you, because I know this is something that we get a lot here, is how are you able to tell that that was the actual result? Did you have access, or did you just ask them for that information?
It was something that I followed up with them, where basically I said, how's everything going? And he's like, dude, I think it already paid for itself within the first month. I just got the report stating like, hey, we only had to spend 70% of the budget to get the same amount of leads coming in. So that was also like right around the time lockdown started to happen, you know, with schools and kids. Like, so it started to throw things off past like a certain point, and I couldn't really consider it like 100% because of what we did. But I'll put it this way. He's one of our top 3 clients still. Just went to the Bahamas with him, working on a vlog because he got a new boat, you know? So I think he's happy as a client.
I would be.
All right. Am I on this tab? All right. So let's go through dentist. Dentist near me. What do we got? So this is how a potential, like, let's say I needed to hire a dentist. This is what I would be doing. You know, you're going to search dentist near me, dentist zip code, dentist and your city. Now what you have here up top, sponsored. So these couple things here in this box, these are paid ads. People are paying for every click that comes through based around searching certain keywords. You can help a client run paid ads that same way. But like, let's see, let's click and see through. All right, so they're running ads. You get here, you see their team, schedule with us. So like perfect kind of client where I'm not seeing anything in regards to video from first glance. When I look at the Facebook pixel helper, I don't know if that's actually going to show, but there is a pixel on here, meaning they're either not running Facebook, they're paying for Google ads, but they're not running Facebook ads, or they've never done it in the past. So in my mind, it's like, hey, why wouldn't you want to retarget the people that are already coming here, or at least have the pixel just set up to gather that data? If I go to their Insta, small Insta, random posts of the team, babies, stuff like that. So they don't really get much traction. So knowing that, like, let's see how many, you know, like what, 10 likes on a post, 2 comments, nothing. All right. So knowing that, like, I would just, in the back of my mind, I would ask the question, oh, you have someone who does social. How's that going? Knowing like not much really could be coming from this because they don't have a lot of followers. They don't get a lot of engagement. Now, if the client says, oh, we crush it on social, I would say, really, tell me more about that. How do you know these leads are coming from social? You track, you have a unique like tracking link or something on that. Like, can I see some of that data? Like, I'm trying to figure out if he actually knows that, or his social media person just says every month, oh, we're crushing it. Because that's usually what people do. They just say, hey, we're crushing it. Client thinks they're crushing it. They're not. So I would just ask questions around that. Looking at this, yes, he's really hungry to have a big social media following. I don't see him investing a lot in social. Like, there's no way this guy's going to spend $3 to $5 grand for Reels. Okay. But there's no videos on the website. They have a lot of reviews, which means they have a ton of opportunity for testimonials. Their schedule looks good. So all that's great. So like, they have a funnel in place. They just need more traffic. They're paying someone for...
You're still on their Instagram page, by the way.
Oh, share this tab instead. Okay. So where was I? I was saying they have 546 reviews. So chances are, hey, where does most of your business come from? Oh, word of mouth and referrals. Boom, nailed it. Oh, interesting. I didn't see any testimonials out there for you other than the Google ones. Have you ever thought about doing some type of video testimonials with some of your best clients? Yes, we have. Yes. No, we haven't. Like, what if we built a testimonial booth in your office so you can just capture it right in the moment?
Dude, here's the thing. Here's what I think of immediately as a devil's advocate counterpoint here, right? They have an ad that showed up right up top. They have 500 some reviews. What about this doesn't immediately disqualify them from like, well, they're already like doing this. What in your mental process goes, these guys could be a good client?
Because I've never worked with anyone who does it that well. Point, like, dude, this is a creative industry. If you answer your phone, hit deadlines, like follow up with clients, communicate, they're going to be happy. They just don't you got to realize, like, someone who's 40 or 50 years old already making a couple $100,000 a year in their established career doesn't want to learn how to use Premiere, doesn't want to go learn Canva and Descript and After Effects and Photoshop and Lightroom and social media and hashtags. Like, it is this whole world where it's two worlds, dude. Like, people need help building their life online. Most people are getting smart now where they have businesses attached to it. Some people sell houses. Some people are insurance brokers. Some people are dentists. Some people are marketers, right? But like, everyone's trying to find ways to make money online. This is why I want to stress, it's not just like the content skills, but it's understanding the online ecosystem and how traffic works and how to generate sales and make money. If you can make a business money, guess what you can probably do for yourself long-term? Cue Ja Rule. Yo, we need Ja Rule on a live stream.
I feel
on his next birthday. It's only every 4 years. Fun fact.
I feel like we could probably get him.
Yeah, Ja, hit me up, brother.
Maybe better than who have you been hitting up? DJ Khaled or Rick Ross?
Rose. It's a lost cause at this point. I'm gonna need to rent like one of those planes that fly a banner.
Yeah.
And then that's my new form of sliding in.
Dude, straight up, I have a video, like a short form video I've never posted that was just said literally like, people ask me how I get my leads. And what I tell them is airplane banners. I fly them and hope that people call me. So I think there might be some legitimacy to that though.
Great, that's a great ad. Videographers.
I think we might be onto something.
It's not about inbound leads. It's about airplane ads. Always a couple of $1,000 on that.
Michael said he has air ad contacts if we need him. We might be onto something here. Okay, so we got a quick look at somebody there, and why don't we for anybody who's maybe like a little bit confused here, and everybody, if you're watching this, drop the comments what you're thinking so far. Let us know like what's clicking, what's not. We looked at their website, we looked at their ad, we looked at their website, and we kind of got a little bit of an understanding of like, what are they doing, what are they not doing. I think maybe it'll really make the idea or the concept click for people with another example, so that way it's like looking at like, how the hell can I tell? I think this is good to show people what are some like green flags or red flags of who might be a good client for different types of projects.
So the first barrier we need to break is we're not doing this to figure out who's a good client, who's not a good client. The only way to figure that out is by having a conversation with someone. I'm looking at like, that's what I would do before going into a sales meeting. That homework right there, that 2 to 3 minutes. Okay. I see what's going on. I kind of get I've had conversations with enough dental clinics and practices to understand how all that works in home services companies. All that really matters for this particular client, and this is why there's no strategy to stress over, is what are they interested in? A client's typically interested in a couple things: making more money, having more reach, and like being more popular. So when you think about it that way, like that's where I said, looking at his social, unless he's obsessed right now with, look, I don't care if it costs me $5,000 a month. If my friends and family, these 146 people, think I'm a G and a baller dentist right now, I need it. Charge them all day for that, right? But if he's saying, look, none of our sales come from social, I'm not interested in social content right now. Well, let me tell you about my monthly reel package. That's $2,000 a month. What do you think's going to happen? Well, dude, send me a proposal. I'll think about it. I got to go talk to other people. So that's why I'm doing this homework. It's more just to see kind of what they already have in place and cue myself up to a couple questions that I can be asking them. So,
we got a question. It's what do we got here? Is there a copy of the funnel panel to use with clients to show them potential numbers as a copy of the price calculator, for example?
I don't understand what that question was, but it will be in school once you join it. There's your lead magnet. So in marketing, when we create the shiny object to get people into our funnel and our marketing system, it's called a lead magnet. Yeah, we'll get you that for sure.
Yeah. What we got here?
I gotta go back. Hold on.
Kevin, both would be awesome, but I do find myself drop the ball. Oh, okay. So earlier, Kevin asked too about where is it? Where is it? Scroll up, scroll up, scroll up.
Wait, can I add a couple more things about this client before I leave?
Yeah, do it up.
All right. So now we talked a little bit about what made sense online, right? Videos on the site obviously would make sense. The next questions I would ask this guy is like, how many locations do you have? He might have 3 locations. And it's like, oh, who sells all your services? Usually this would be like your dental assistants, basically being like, oh yeah, teeth whitening's great. Your teeth get white. What if instead we had like a library for your top 5 or 10 services that just broke down how the service went, how it didn't hurt. Maybe we had some before and after photos, or even could tie in some of those testimonials from the 600 that you had, just thinking that could be a great way to increase your lifetime value with that customer, right? So it's not always more, more, more. How can you just get more from some of the same people that just don't know some of these other services exist? Oh, by the way, we could get them on your website. We could turn them into reels. We could build out your YouTube. We could do email sequences. We could. There's all these other opportunities. This is why it makes so much sense to focus on, because these are assets that can be used long terms in all these different various aspects of your machine.
Yeah, you nailed it. I think there's a lot of, it's more so like, hey, here's the utility that this can do, because if you're just, there's always, hey, let's do these videos, and then it works into their different systems too. The Kevin comment that we got from Kevin was about the process kind of like taking someone from just like a cold person to a customer, like discovery, sales process. I think it kind of, just to real quick sort of touch on it, like that is basically the sales process. That's like that almost, it works with this, but it's almost like such a deeper dive than what we're kind of touching on here, because it's basically like our own, not just funnel, but sales process. I think to me, when we look at what this, like the funnel breakdown here, it's kind of about like, what does the flow look like? And the sales process is sort of the nuance of like, how do we push someone into that next phase? But we also got a couple other comments, but Ceebz, you got something right here. So I'm going to let you
so
this
real quick, guys, when we talk about being a savage at sales and building a sales system, what we mean is, even if you are the one running your sales process, you have a process that you follow the same way, A to Z, every single time. By doing so, it's only going to let you get more dialed in time and time and time again. You get into more of a flow, but you're also kind of turning it into a system that you can eventually hire other people to help with. So whether it's the whole thing, like right now within DNC, I don't really do sales, or it's smaller aspects of it, like hiring a VA to help with appointment setting or managing your inbox or whatever that is. So within your business, you got your marketing system, sales, your operation, your finance system. All right. So within sales, this is how I think about it. First thing, anytime someone reaches out to me, I always start with a discovery form. What this does is it gives me a good way to kind of like pre-qualify a client. It also helps pre-frame me as not just like the other videographer out there. So I'll usually ask name, company, why are you reaching out? Who's your ideal client? What product or service are you most interested in creating marketing for right now? Have you done video in the past? I'm just trying to ask a handful of questions. I would say 6 to 10 to just create some sense of hey, you got to stop and take 2 to 3 minutes just to fill this out real quick before we can get on a phone call. Because what would happen I would just jump on phone calls all the time with people who are like, hey, give me the price, give me the price, give me the price. So I just want your rate sheet. If they can't take 5 minutes to answer a couple questions for me ahead of a meeting, there's no point for me to probably meet with them. Those are going to be the clients that the night before a shoot are hitting you up at 11 p.m. being like, hey, I need you there at 7 a.m. or whatever. So it's one way to kind of separate the qualified people from the people that you just want to kind of like push away a bit. Okay. So after that, usually we'll schedule a meeting. If you're not using something like Calendly or some other kind of calendar scheduler, highly recommend getting that set up. I usually have just 2 or 3 days a week for sales calls and meetings like that. Anytime a client says, hey, I'm interested, hey, let's jump on a call. Here's my discovery form. And also let me know if any of these times work to jump on a quick sales call. If not, let me know some times that work for you and I'll see what I can do. So I do give them some flexibility. I don't like force them to use my calendar link. I've just gotten emails sometimes where it's like, hey, use my calendar. And I'm like, well, why don't you use my calendar? You know, what made your calendar better than mine? So after you have your meeting, always set your meeting like in your sales calls, like whether I say meeting, it could be a sales call, it could be a Zoom, whatever. But always set those 3 or 4 days out. So DM comes into Instagram. Hey, Johnny recommended you, you know, would love to learn more about what you do and like the rates you charge. Awesome. Let's jump on a call. Would love to learn more about the project. Here's my calendar. Pick a time that might work for you next week. And then my calendar is set up. So like within 3 to 4 days, they can't schedule anything. That creates a little bit of scarcity and also lets me kind of show up to these calls with like a clear state of mind. Because I always used to just try to jump into it, where you guys saw twice on this live stream already getting interrupted by a windshield repairman that was supposed to come at 4 o'clock, you know? So you run your sales meeting. You guys have the Savage sales script. Dive into those questions. Understand more about a client's business. There's way more questions on that sheet than you will ever need a client to answer. I just wanted to map out as many as I could think about, because oftentimes people will ask 3 or 5 questions and be like, okay, well, so the weather's hot, you know?
Yeah.
Where do I go from here? So that's why I really went in depth with those questions on the sales guide. Once you get into objection handling, if you handle everything up to this point, there's literally like 1 or 2 small things that come up. Otherwise, it's like, hey, that sounds great. Get your signed contract and deposit and move on. The one other thing I want to add is just with pre-framing here. Like, this is something that from the very beginning sets the kind of tone, right? So if you guys feel like you get kind of run over by clients all the time, it's not your client's fault, it's your fault. You didn't set it up the right way. No problem. There's plenty of times I didn't set stuff up the right way. I still don't set things up the right way. But, you know, what did I say earlier in the call? Perfect action, better than inaction. So I always schedule 2 to 4 days out. I'm busy. I'm in demand. I have a lot going on. Why don't we set up a time where I can really focus on what's going on, you know, dive into some strategy, give you some advice. If it makes sense, you know, I'll talk more about what we can do and how we can help, pricing, all of that. But just so you know, we only work with a handful of clients and we really like going deep with those clients. You know, most videographers out there just focused on pretty videos for Instagram that like get some likes or views. And that's not what we do. We really want to help you build your brand and have this content produce a return for you. So you honestly can just keep giving us more money, knowing you're making more. It all makes sense. It's a win-win. What is this social media content sales videos? Get your content in front of them. Oh, so if I know I have a meeting coming up with a client on Friday, guess what I'm doing on Wednesday and on Thursday? I'm posting some kind of reel that's going to reinforce whatever it is that I know I'm going to want to bring up. Naturally, by the time you get into that meeting, it's like, dude, I feel like I've been thinking this whole time. And it's like, this must make sense. If it feels this good, it's got to be right, baby. Let's go. And then the discovery form. Play around with this, guys. I said earlier on, I said, like, you always send it, but there's times where I'll only send the calendar schedule ahead of time. And I'll say, hey, schedule a call. Once they do that, I'll be like, hey, by the way, would love to. I had a meeting cancel and an hour free up to do some background homework on your business ahead of time. I got this cool thing called a discovery form. If you're able to fill it out, should only take 5-10 minutes. I'll be able to show up to our meeting 10 times more prepared. If they don't do it, once again, it kind of tells me they're not taking this as serious, or they're just that busy, because once you get into like the the C-level CEOs, they're if anything, they're just giving it to an assistant to do. They're not going to do that stuff. But
Yeah.
Use the discovery form to your advantage. You can map out questions on Calendly. You can set up a Google form. It's part of your process. Like I said, it's going to really separate you guys ahead of time and let them know, hey, out of the 10 or 20 people we hit up for rate sheets, one person was like, hey, I can't just give you rates, but here's a bunch of other questions about your business. And like, where are you even going to post this?
Yeah.
You know how many people don't ask that question? Where's this video going?
Dude, I wanna real quick tie this back directly to a couple questions that we got, or a couple things in the group here, because like the pre-framing, I think, is what it's so nuanced, and a lot of people don't fully get it. Like, you think you get it, but then it comes out differently. And Peter's been in the comments here talking about like not really getting responses back from people and like just things misfiring. And what I'm getting here is that you're not establishing a pre-frame proper, or maybe you're trying to establish the pre-frame too soon, because it's people that aren't even necessarily interested yet. So to give you context, Steve, Peter's been saying like, he's talking to people in networking events and getting them to like, basically they're saying like, cool, like make us a pitch. I'll forward it to our higher ups. And then I kind of replied back like, dude, that shouldn't be the goal. He said, I see. Should I next time try to direct the conversation more towards how and when could I meet your team to learn more about your needs, etc. And I'll just say for Peter and for anybody else here, most people, unless they've already come to us, like if we are meeting them somewhere or we're going out in front of them, they don't give a fuck. Like, they don't care about how we can learn about their needs and how we can make something work for them. That is a chore for them. That is if they aren't already seeking that, having to go through and commit their time to that is truly a chore, because it's not something it's the time sink, and there's a time debt to that. And even if it's free, that's why when something is free, what's that quote where it's like Charlie Munger or someone, or like Warren Buffett was like talking to someone and he's like, I'll work for you. I just want to learn. I'll work you for free. I just want to learn from you. And he said, if you're free, that means I can't afford you, because the time to sink into that is too much. So it's really free costs the most. Exactly. So it's really just this framing of like, be friendly. Like Ceebz talks about it all the time here. I'm not trying to go in and talk video. I'm just trying to shoot the shit and be friends with people, because then video works its way in and then they're interested. And once they're interested and they're attracted to it is when you can start having those further conversations. So it's really part of that pre-frame early phase of like, let's get people to just like us.
Yeah. It's like if you meet someone out at a bar, it's like me and Dave are out and Bob walks up and I'm like, oh, Dave, meet Bob. And then Bob's like, hey, Dave, give me $10,000. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, if anything, it's like, dude, do you want a drink? Now you're friends with him. Oh, now this guy's cool, dude. He doesn't want anything from me. You give a little, you gain the trust. You're able then to come in, help them figure things out, make sure it makes sense before you even talk numbers. Hey, look, let's just keep seeing what makes sense before we really get into that.
Dude, think about this. Think about Bob comes up and instead of just saying, give me $10,000, even more pulled back than that, Bob, first time I'm meeting him, is like, oh, dude, how's business? I'm like, who the fuck are you? Or like, dude's like, oh, how are your like sales conversions going?
Dude, if Bob tries to seal the deal with you right off the rip, you can't do that.
No.
It's the same thing in business. You can't just go in.
There it is.
It's not going to work.
Peter, I want to just, and for, again, anybody else who's having trouble like getting people to take that initial interest, just think of it this way. Again, the whole like funnel here, we're at the very, very top. We want to get someone into that. Think about the flip side of that. Say you're out networking and someone is a financial planner, right? Because there's so many of them out there, or like a life insurance person. And if they come to you and they start right off the bat talking about like asking questions about your plans for like financial security and things like that, it's a turnoff. even you'll maybe feign interest, but you didn't go into that being like, oh, I was really hoping to like talk about my financial plans here. It's going to be such a deterrent to you. So think about the other flip side of how you would want to be approached. If someone who just happens to be a financial planner comes up to you and is like, what are you drinking right now, by the way? Like, holy shit. I'm like, actually, I got a Yingling here. Like, and they're like, I got you. I'm going to talk to them for sure. So it's just be, again, friendly, cool, be cool. Just be as cool as you can. Or work on that. For anybody here also, just a no affiliation plug, the YouTube channel, Charisma on Command. Like, if you have trouble talking to people, awesome YouTube channel about like the psychology and very simple tips and tricks on like how to just have conversations. So recommend that.
Hell yeah. All right, what we got? Were there any other pressing questions? I think we got to wrap her up soon.
We got a very, very simple question from Michael just saying, can we automate the form at the booking thank you page? I think
what, on your website.
Yeah, really quick. I think what if I might be wrong, basically, I have the form on my website on the booking page. So somebody picks a date to schedule, then they fill out the form, it confirms, and then redirects them to a thank you page. And then on that thank you page, I have like the next steps video. So there's automations you can set up to keep it easy. But, you know, sometimes it's just like Ceebz said, you want to go a little hand to hand, a little more natural, feel it out.
Yeah. 1000%. Don't stress over it too much. Like, for 5 years, we really didn't have much in place. So it was like more about creating conversations and meeting people and like versus how do I get this 10-step post opt-in funnel in place to nurture this person before my sales meeting. It was more like, all right, what if we just ran it 3 times and met with them 3 different meetings to really make sure they understand this and we can be helping them. So, sweet. Fire Sesh. I don't think I have anything else I really wanted to show.
We got Ahi popping in here at the very end saying, any good partnership models with other agencies you guys can share. Ahi, make a post in the group.
Like,
that dives
everyone
so
wants
deep.
a partner thinking it's going to be easier, but at the end of the day, a partnership is more stress and you go faster like at times, but then there's also all these other elements of you have a second person deciding overall direction, overall client this, client that, whatever, pricing. That 1 degree of separation, I don't care how long it is, it's just like that creates a rift long term.
Yeah.
Part of the yeah, we'll leave it at that. Because there's been multiple partnerships I've had in the past, some successful and brought in a lot of cash, some not as successful. But the thing I'm leaning into now more than ever is stop looking for that next person to work with. You already know what to do. Just go do it. And that a lot of times is the reality. A lot of us know what to do, but we're saying, oh, I need to learn this strategy. I need to prove results. I need to get this camera. I need to have more followers. My content needs to look better. The reality is all of that is just internal, which is why me and Dave are always diving into mindset, because at the end of the day, it's like going to the gym. You need to work on your mindset daily, weekly, monthly, and over time, consistently leveling up into this future version of yourself that you honestly like just dreamed about at one point, and then all of a sudden you become it. You're like, wait, what the hell's happening? Right? That's what you guys need to do. And you need to show up daily as the future version of yourself. I don't show up in the morning as like, I don't know what version I'm on right now, like Ceebz 7.0. I show up as Ceebz 8.0 because 8.0 is fucking fire. 7.0 is like, he's only like 90% of the way there. So I need to show up that way, because if I don't, I'm not living up to what I know I can do. I'm not making the hard phone call to the one client that I've been putting off for 3 months to say, hey, did we either need to bump budget or go back to our original deliverables? We're like been way over delivering. It's just that point. Like, these are the things that you just need to do. Then you do it. And the client's like, okay, cool, dude. Yeah, you've been crushing it. It's like, man, I could have just.
Yeah, dude. Something, just a general broad statement here, like based on what Ceebz is saying, what everything's happening. Like we did this live stream, right? We talked about funnels and breakdowns and all like that, the back end strategy of stuff. But what I'm seeing and getting here is like so many people, or a lot of people here, are not even there yet. And that's totally cool. That's completely fine, because we're trying to meet everybody where you're at. But the number one thing before, like, I did this for way too long, and I looked ahead and I overplanned and I over optimized, and I still do it sometimes. The thing is, don't think about all of that shit yet. Just be a person. Focus on being a person that people want to talk to, and then go talk to people. Like, you just got to have like conversations with people, not even trying to sell them on stuff. Just talk to people more in a day. Dude, I love posting it, like talking in the group to people here, doing these live streams. It forces me to have conversations, because if you can go up to somebody, like if you can talk to a client and just be like, or a friend of yours and somebody that you're connected to with business, and you see them doing stuff and you're like, dude, I'm seeing the shit you're doing. We got to do video. Like, we got to get that on a video. And you're friendly enough with them that they're like, they like you. They're going to actually have a conversation, and it's not like calculated, like, well, I think we should have a sales conversation so we can learn about your needs. Like, dude, just keep it cool. And Ben, you might have to start saying impossible to ignore. Man, welcome to the party. I've been saying that since 2022, and I've been looking into trademarking it. So get in while you can.
Well, good thing I got a good trademark attorney. Oh shit, I need to add that to my.
Do you really?
List. I'm working on a little something.
Let me know, because I'm not even joking. I've been looking into it. Anyway.
Trademark law is complicated when it comes to AI bots and cloning yourself.
I could imagine.
We'll save that conversation for another day, though.
Yeah.
No, I was just gonna add, guys, like the reason I'm sharing like this complex funnel shit. This took me years to learn, and even more years to be able to help clients with and have the team and the systems and all of that in place. But I remember when I read Russell Brunson's book, Lead Gen Secrets, I think it was, and I learned what funnels were and how retargeting worked and like how all of this was just a system. And it just blew my mind. It was just like, probably nerd me, you know, being like, oh my God, systems and automations and like content. Whoa. But keep in mind, like if you guys are struggling with this and you're doing content and you're doing online, guess what our clients are going to be struggling with? Guess what clients are going to need help with? Guess how many clients want to build a coaching business on school or start doing YouTube channels or like whatever it is, just content is king. So I think on that note, the action challenge, Dave, give them a good action challenge. What can we do?
The action challenge, I'm going to say, look, everybody's at different points in their business right now, but I would say if you are someone who is like, man, I just can't get people to respond to me, really look inside and see if you're doing the things you know you should be doing. And I would say on a broad brushstroke, like figure out that thing that you've been putting off and just fucking do it. What do you got, Ceebz?
Yeah. I was going to say, if no one's responding to you, go send 950 more outreach messages and then come back to us once you sent 1,000 and said no one's responding to me. And if you can't figure it out within 1,000 outreach messages, I will personally drive my RV to your front yard and not leave until you close at least $10,000 in deals so I can get gas money to come back home. Savage Nation, we going, baby. We going.
Put more volume into the shit you do. And if there's something that's been on your to-do list for a month, just do it this week, because you'll never do it again. You'll never get to it if you don't just do it. Like, get it done. Shoot a piece of content and post it. Like,
let's do it.
Put yourself in the hot seat.
And hashtag Savage Nation. Secret hashtag. If you use the secret hashtag, you will get a like.
Here's what I tried doing on our Here's what I tried doing on our mastermind call the other day. If you, rather than hold you guys accountable and like punish you for not doing something, if you do something, we will reward you. So if you create a piece of content, or if you shoot and create your own video business card or client testimonial or something like that, post it in the group. I will shoot a video message critiquing it and breaking it down and telling you what's great and what could have done better for the next time. Like, just to help you, to give you that feedback, to help you actually get it done, to give you that accountability. So putting it out there that if you do that, something for yourself to market yourself, and you post it in the group, I will give you an honest video critique. If not, that's totally cool. That's totally cool. But the offer's out there.
And then also just let us know what you guys want to see more of. I think the big ones we're seeing today is just mindset and more around sales, and just kind of keep diving into both of those. So we'll set something up for next week. I'm going to send everyone who has purchased the starter kit an invite to school this week. And then we'll have Facebook going for like another week or two, just as we transition, but Facebook will die.
Yep. Oh yeah, I thought you were muted for a second. That was badass.
I wasn't muted. I was being dramatic. So Facebook's AI, that's probably got a cookie running somewhere, knows how serious we are. Look, the Savage Nation is here, and we're not messing around.
Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, let us know what popped off, what stuck with you. Frank said sad. To give you clarification, guys, we're not just going to like delete the group. What if there were posts here before? They'll stay there, but you won't be able to interact. The beauty is you'll still be able to interact. It's not sad. We're just going to another platform.
And Facebook's just a distraction. Like
it is.
Like you come here on Facebook for this group, but then you get down the rabbit hole 45 minutes on other crap. So,
yep.
All right, y'all. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.